Hello students, this is Dr. Nisha Varshney. Today we are going to start with our economics subject, okay? And this is an important subject in terms of taking higher education in this particular subject, which is economics honors, that may lead to banking sector to you, that may lead to so many financial institutions where you can provide your services. So this is a very interesting subject, and in this class 10th we have here 5 lessons, and the last chapter, that is consumer rights, now has been added into project work. Okay, so before starting this chapter I would like to ensure one thing, that you have taken up this subject. Welcome to that social science world of social sciences, and just watching the videos and listening will not help in getting good marks, because it is very crucial to write your answers properly and get it checked. Because once you are not aware that what mistakes are you doing in writing your answers, apart from this, the presentation is being taken care through the help of writing part only. Else you won't be able to understand where I lag, why do I deduct my marks. I request you, after every lesson, make sure that you give class test of that particular chapter. And end of the chapter, once you're done with your economics part, I would ask you to give full economics test, at least 3 or 4 sets of that. So that particular portion of economics or any part like political science, history, geography, you will be comfortable with that it is covered and you are prepared with that. Okay, as we know, there are the ARP question paper of social sciences of 80 marks, and this particular part of social science of economics is of 20 marks. So understand one thing, here we have to do 4 lessons in our board exams, and every lesson has 5 marks average weightage. Okay, it is not compulsory that every time they will give you 5 marks, they may give you 6 or sometimes 4 also of every lesson, but you can think that these 4 chapters will ensure your 20 marks completely. Okay, so I hope now this will help you to understand how to go about the subject full year. Okay, now we are going to start with the first chapter, is called development. And to start with the chapter, I would request that in economics you should go through all types of pictures which are given to you in your book, and these pictures are mentioned sometimes in picture based questions. So these picture based questions are asked in various forms, sometimes in form of fill in fill up, sometimes in form of understanding based question, that what do you see in the picture, then how do you write about it. So let us start, and I hope you must have opened your NCERTs. All my lectures, please don't listen, just open your NCERTs with you, a pen, pencil or a paper, because simultaneously I will be asking you to write the questions. Okay, you don't have to underline here, you have to underline, but you have to write questions separately so you can answer them, and you can send to me so I can check later on, or in terms of chapter and test you can write those answers there, so I can check whether you are on the same scale or not, which I expect you to write. So let us start the chapter. Very interesting chapter. The name of the chapter is development. So my question to you is that, do you know the difference between growth and development? What is growth and what is development? So growth is basically increase or decrease in any particular thing. Fine, you increase your height, you increase your weight, so this is called growth. Fine, and we increase our salary, we increase our age, that is called growth. But what is development? Is it also in numbers that we can calculate? Because in growth we calculate each and everything. We can ensure कि अभी आप 4 के थे, yesterday you were 4, now next day you will be 5, then you will be 6. So this way you are increasing your age and your salary. Earlier you were earning 10,000, now you are earning 15,000, then you are earning 20,000. So this is called growth. Growth is always measured in numbers, And on the other side, we have the similar word which we interrelate in our daily life is called development. Development cannot be measured in number. It is qualitative term. Qualitative means, for example, you have gained wisdom. Wisdom means, I give you one example. Your friend, earlier he was very naughty, okay, and he used to trouble people around him. Now that same friend of yours, after 5 years you meet him and you realized that my friend every Saturday goes to a colony where poor students live and he teaches them free of cost. So what is this? Wisdom. So don't you think that your friend has developed internally, mentally and socially? Yes, he has developed. Can you measure that development in numbers, that he has increased 10% wisdom or 20% intellectual? No, na. So development cannot be measured. It is seen, it is felt. So in this chapter, development, we are going to understand development of the society, development of the people. However, somewhere we will check numerical background as well, means we will take numerical measurement as well in development. Okay, that is a part of it, but this is not complete. Development means overall. So we are starting with this chapter with an example. As you can see on the slide, there are two women. One is in America and one is in Saudi Arabia. If we compare both the countries in terms of their economical development, I hope we know that Saudi Arabia is also a rich and developed country, as well as the US. And technologically they are doing very well. They have everything in their country at their disposal. But what about the condition of women? Women are less empowered in Saudi Arabia as compared to America. So in this example, you tell me, where do you think, which country is more developed? Of course, America. So they have given space to women also, means there is a gender equality. So we measure equality as an important term of development in the society. Fine. So here from that concept, we are going to start that we need to see development of any individual or any society as a whole, not only in terms of numbers or money or income. So start with this beautiful chapter on page number 3. You can see in your NCERT, here we have a small picture of a person who is riding a bicycle, and some people are carrying their cars. Okay, they are riding in the cars, and you can see this. This is basically a two pictures to show. So here, if we see only car and bicycle, we will say the people, those who are in the car, are developed, are better off in terms of growth of income. But we cannot compare their mental level. We cannot say the people, those sitting in the car, are well educated people or are responsible citizens of the country. We cannot say that. Okay, so this is an example to show and to compare what is development. Something is written here, without me they cannot develop, in this system I cannot develop. So what is written here, that they're talking about ki if one person thinks that without me no other person can develop, is it possible? No, development is actually overall. If all of us would maintain cleanliness in the society, then my society will develop in terms of cleanliness, that we all have learnt it and we all have started cleaning our space and we have learned this value. So first of all, development cannot be done by the one person. Development is in totality of all as a whole, and of course here we are talking about living organism, so it is only being seen in terms of human beings' contribution and their participation. How do they want to practice or do want to contribute in the society to make it as a whole developed system. Okay, so I hope this is understanding, a basic understanding of the chapter what is development. So let us move to the next topic here. We have what development, next topic, or you can say understanding of the next thing. What development promises? Different people, different goals. Okay, so to understand it better, we have a table here 1.1. Developmental goals of different categories of person. There is a list of people. Landless, rural labor. So what does he want? If you ask him, what is your development? So what is his answer and his aspirations? Aspirations again means what you want to achieve in your life, and goals again the same thing, what you want to achieve in your life. So more days of work and better wages. Local school is able to provide quality education for their children. There is no social discrimination, and they too can become leaders in the village. So these are developmental goals of a landless rural labor. Fine. Let us move to the second person. Prosperous farmers from the Punjab. What do they want? Assured high family income through higher support prices for their crops, and through hard working and cheap labor, they should be able to settle their children abroad. The previous case, the person wants good education in the village itself, but in this case of a prosperous farmer from Punjab, he wants his children to be settled abroad. So after seeing two examples, we have two people and they have different goals. Is any one of them is thinking wrong? No, both are good. This is their aspiration. You cannot say that your development goal is not right and your development goal is very good. So every person, you, me, anyone, we all have different development goals. So the first question, please write, what do you mean by development goals of different people, people? What do you mean by development goals? So answer would be, development goals are aspirations which we want to achieve in our life, and it could depend upon person to person. One person may have development goal this, you can give the example, and the second person may have development goal like this. Finish. This is the only question. What do you mean by development goals? Now next topic is that sometimes development goal of one person may be destructive for the other person. Do you think so? Can you give me one example? Think of it. How my development goal will hurt the other person or will stop his development? Okay, so there is one example of a natural resource. There is a river, okay, and this river is for all of us. But let us take two people. One person is very rich, he is an industrialist. He says that he can build a dam on this river and can manufacture electricity. That electricity will help many factories to run, and that will help him to earn more money. Okay, so that way the river water for the industrialists would be for his own benefit. That is his goal. The other person, or you can say group of people, those who are residing there, for them development goal is fishing. For them this river water gives them what? Fishes. Every day they eat, they sell. That is their life. So now, aren't they conflicting? Yes, sometimes development goals are conflicting. I give you one example. Currently we see a lot of protests going on grounds of farm bills. Fine. This has been launched by the government of India. Some people think this is in their benefit, some people think this is not in their benefit. So what is happening? Clash. What is happening? Conflicting. So development goals sometimes can be conflicting too. So second question, please write down, why development goals are conflicting? Explain with the help of example. Why development goals are conflicting? Explain with the help of example. So far we have done 2 question and 1 activity of table 1.1 that has helped us to understand this chapter better. Let us move to the next question or the next topic, income and the other goals. Very interesting. I ask you one thing, I ask you to put yourself in 2 situations. In situation 1, you have monthly income of 1 lakh rupees, but wherever you are living, there is no public facilities, roads are broken, theft are very high, no law and order, hospitals do not have good medical services. On the other side, you have salary of rupees 10,000, but government takes care of everything of yours. Schools are very good, health facilities are best in the world, you are being taken care of once you are retired, and there is good law and order. Now you tell me in which of the condition you would like to put yourself in. Of course, the second one, because not income, or you can say money, will not allow you to sustain happily. To sustain your life happily, you need income, but you need other things also, which is called income and other goals. Okay, so this is the question to understand. Very beautiful thing in our life also to understand. We should not run after money. We should also think for other valuable part of the society which makes us, which brings a lot of happiness in our life. Income is your personal, but the things which are being provided by the society or the government are part of your life, and not of your life, it is part of everybody's life. Correct? So here we have a beautiful example. I'm reading it for you. That is the second line. Money or material things that one can buy with it is one factor on which our life depends, but the quality of our life also depends on non-material things mentioned above. If it is not obvious to you, then just think of the role of your friend in your life. Don't you need your friends? We need good friends. Sometimes we say we don't have money, but we have good friends. We can cope with that. So this is the example to understand. Now write down the next question. Do you think that income is only goal of life, or income should be only goal of life? Do you think that income should be only goal of your life? So answer, you know it better. You can give this example on the back. We have a last paragraph, you can say, of this heading. Consider another example. If you get a job in a far off place, before accepting it, you would be considered many factors apart from income, such as facilities for your families, working atmosphere, or opportunity to learn. In another case, a job may give you less pay but may offer regular employment that enhances your sense of security. So this is also a good example. The answer would be that money is not the criteria, money should not be the goal, hence people look for mixed goals. So answer what you have to write here. Do you need only income, or income should be the goal? No. Answer is that for development people look for mixed goals. So question could be asked, what do you mean by mixed goals? So here we have asked 2 questions, but answer is same. What do you mean by mixed goals, or income is the only criteria for development? So both answer would be same. Okay, so I hope so far the questions are clear to you. Okay, next we have national development. So far we are just doing development of an individual. Now let us look at the national development. So assume that you are a PM of the country and you have to look after 132 crores people, their needs. Your job is to make them develop, or to provide them opportunities so they can develop in their life. We have so many groups in our society, social groups I'm talking about. Social groups, women, children, elders, young, disabled, these are social groups. So once I am PM and I have to formulate policies, I need to look after all of them. My one policy should not hurt other, or it should not reduce development of other social group. Okay, so being a PM or having on such an important position, we need to look after all of them equally. Assume you want jobs, means young people want job. For them you have to start up with the industries. If you want to put up industries, so it may hurt environment, and we all know that yes, putting up industries may hurt environment. So it is the job of the PM to look after everything in totality, that because environment is required for the future generation. But if you want to put up industries now, so you are just taking care of the current demand. Whatever you are planning, it has to be balanced, it has to be managed, it has to be maintained in such a way that development of current generation as well as future generations should be kept in mind. So national development, shall we read it? It is very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of country's development. My example, to put up industries or to cut the trees. So two groups, social groups, look after both of them. So national development should look after all the social groups. Here there is a purple box. I would like you to go through that, read yourself, very easy to understand. And there is one activity also. So if even the idea of what constitute development can be varied and conflicting, that we have already discussed, then certainly there can be differences about ways of developing it. If you know of any such controversy, try to find out argument advances by different people. You may do so by talking to different persons, and you may find it from newspapers and televisions. I have just given you example of farm bills. You can ask them, you can compare, and you can analyze. These are the subjects. Social science is not the subject of the chapter and to get marks, right? This is the chapter. These are the topics, these are the subjects that play every day in our life. You can see them, you can compare them, you can understand them, and you can learn out of it. Okay, so next question is, what is national development? So you think what you can write here, national development means development of all social groups without compromising need or demand from one social group. Okay, next, so far we have just discussed some definitions and concepts. Okay, now we are going to compare development. Here now numerical formula would be included, as I discussed in the beginning, that we are going to use numbers also, because some kind of a development is checked with the help of numbers. Assume one student come to me and he says, I scored 40% in social science last year, and one student comes to me and he says, I scored 90% in social science last year. I don't know any of them, I just know their name. If they are telling this to me, so as a teacher, you think that what kind of a thought would be there in my mind about their development in terms of understanding the subject. So I just got that number and figured out, okay, he is weak in social sciences and he is good in social science. So I understood on grounds of numbers only. Same way, when we compare on a large level, on a large extent, countries in terms of development, correct? So we check their income only. Basically, there are two organizations in the world, those who compare development of the countries at larger scale. So first is World Bank and the other is UNDP. Here the World Bank compares only national income of the people. What is national income and how do we calculate? National income is basically the total income of the country, but that would not give you the right number because this is the clubbed income. So in our country we have Mukesh Ambani as well. In our country, we have poor people as well. How can we club that income and would say India's national income is this, and you compare this with America's national income? And one more thing, both the countries have different population. So what we have understood, so here we have World Bank has devised one formula called per capita income, meaning an average income of the person living in that particular country. So that is called average income as well as per capita income, where total income of the country is divided by the population. Please write PCI is equal to total income of the country is divided by the population of the country. This will give you the average income of every individual living in the country, how much he or she earns. Next, World Bank has devised three categories: rich countries, poor countries and middle countries. Every year the data keeps on changing, so I am not putting up here in this slide. You can whatever NCERT, latest NCERT you are going to get, there it is written. You can check easily. They measure this income in terms of somewhere in rupees, somewhere they measure in terms of dollars. The income is given depending upon which NCERT book you have. So rich countries, poor countries and middle countries, middle income group countries. India falls into middle income group countries. Okay, so this is the only way, I am repeating, this is the way of World Bank to compare development of any country in the world. Okay. Next, here we have an issue with this. Here we have on the next page is average income. Average income that we have discussed, oblique average income, oblique PCI are the same thing. But in this formula of World Bank, there is a problem because it does not give us right statistics. I mean to say that, let us see this table 1.2. Country A, country B. Assume there are only 5 people, only 5. Calculate their income and find out the PCI. You will see country A and country B will have same PCI. But look at the people's income. Are they same? In country A, average income formula fits very well because more or less people are having the same income. But in country B, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 person have very low income and the 5th person is having very high income. Because of his income, the entire country's average income is changed to a number. So this is the wrong aspect of average income. Fine. Here we have to understand this only. This question can be asked. Write down the next question. What do you mean by the average income oblique PCI oblique, which is the formula devised by the World Bank to calculate income? Which is the formula devised by the World Bank to calculate the average income? First question. Next question. Average income. Average income hides disparity. You can see this line is given here. Average income hides disparity. Explain. In that answer, you have to give example of this 1.2 table. Very, very important question. Fine. We learnt about World Bank's PCI, then we have learnt about the problem of that PCI oblique average income. Fine. So this is a beautiful example given under this table only. You can watch the country A and country B's example with the help of one cartoon given under this. Country with no rich and no poor, country with rich and poor. So if we fit the formula of PCI in both of them, I don't think so it will be justified. Okay. So this is the question that we have covered here. Now let us move to the next topic. Next is income and other criteria and how do we compare that. So I am telling you here that we have one organization, the other organization, to compare development, which does not see only income, it sees other parameters of development as well. As I have given you the example of your friend, that he has inculcated his wisdom by helping poor students. Okay, same way, you cannot compare his income, he is not earning out of it, but you think that he has developed. So UNDP, United Nations Development Program, also devised this formula that we will not only see income, we will see that, we will keep it in the mind, but we will check health of the people of every country and education of the people of every country. And after getting all these numbers, income, health and education, we will club them, then we will find out one rank. We will give them some rank, and this way whatever countries, 100, 150, 200 countries we are checking and we are putting up this formula, we will have the number of countries rank wise. 1, 2, 3, 4. The highest rank, number 1 rank, the country is perfect in health, in education and in income. The country who is on the bottom has the may have the less income, may have poor health, may have less education system or poor education system. This way we are going to how do we calculate that? I hope average income is clear to you. So table 1.3 PCI is given. Here we are just taking example of our country, and within our country we are comparing the states. Okay, and in the previous example of World Bank we were comparing the countries, but in this we are comparing states of our country only, which is Punjab, Kerala, Bihar. PCI is given, you can watch it. Now we have other criteria also. Table 1.4, look at this. Punjab, first comparison study is of infant mortality rate. What is infant mortality rate? The definition is given in the bottom, you can see in the box. These definitions are very important, can be asked in fill-ups, in MCQs or in any form, because they are into the boxes. They are very important, do not ignore them. First is your infant mortality rate indicates number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1000 live children born in that particular year. Fine. So we are going to see within a year how many children are born and how many are dying before reaching their age 1. So that will give us number. If many children are dying, so our health indicator is very poor. So here we are checking IMR. In health we have 2-3 criteria, but here we are checking only IMR. So I am a UNDP, I am coming to your country and I ask only data of IMR. On that IMR data I can assess country X has low deaths, country B has many deaths or more deaths. So I can say your country is not doing well in health indicator, so you are not developed. Fine. Again, next we have literacy. Here we are checking education. So very simple definition is given. Literacy rate, the person who is 7 or above can read and write in any regional language is termed as literate. So literacy also can be compared, that how many people are literate in Punjab, Kerala and Bihar. You can figure out that which state is developed. And the last, again they have taken net attendance ratio. This would also fall into the category of education. So out of 2 indicators are of education and 1 indicator is of health. I have discussed there are 3 indicators basically: income, health and education. Income we have checked in table 1.3. In table 1.4 we are checking 1 indicator of health and 2 indicators of education or knowledge. Net attendance ratio is basically, it is given how many students have passed the basic education from the age group of 6 to 10. Okay, they have attended full year school. As we know, under Sar Shiksha Abhiyan, till class 8th we don't fail any student. They have to just attend the school throughout the year. So if the children is attending and giving the examination and taking the examination in the end and getting the report card, would be termed as net attendance ratio. Full year, how many students have attended the school. So this way, this data tells us how many students are educated or how many people are educated in that particular state. So we have 4 indicators now. So UNDP has one formula to calculate all of them and give one rank. That is not our part of subject that we are going to study as of now. We don't have to learn that formula, but indicators we should know. I hope so far things are clear to you. In this table we have covered comparison of Indian states, not world state, but that we can apply in world in the next topic. Next topic we have public facilities. I would like that I am dropping comparison of world countries on grounds of UNDP. I am dropping it here because we are picking it up on the next page. But before that, we have one more topic to cover. These are called public facilities. What do you know by public facilities? The facilities which are provided by the government of the country to its people, and these are welfare policies. I hope you understand. What do you mean by welfare policies? Welfare policies which are given free of cost or at a very minimum cost to the people of the country. For example, roads, metro, flyovers, clean environment, ensuring that there should not be pollution, or free vaccination, which is going on nowadays, are the facilities given by the government to its citizens. Again, recall my example of 1 lakh rupee salary person and 10,000 rupee salary person. Compare both of them. In both the cases, the facilities are from the government. So these were called public facilities. In first example, public facilities were very less. In second example, public facilities were very high. Same. So we need good public facilities. We expect good public facilities because we cannot create those facilities for individual. I cannot create road for myself. I cannot create university for myself. I cannot create hospital for myself. Okay, we can create our home for ourselves or for 3-4 people. Same here. Education, health and infrastructural things are provided to us by the government. Clean water, clean environment, good medical facilities, fine. And of course, law and order. You know that how life is important, and we cannot keep our bodyguards. We have police for us. So police is the government, public facilities. So in this paragraph, write down the next question. What do you mean by public facilities? Are they important for our survival, or are they important for life? Again, what do you mean by public facilities? I hope I have covered the previous questions also. So I did dropped that UNDP wala there to compare states among the country of India. Now I am taking up it little ahead. Can you see activity 3, and along with that we have one box, yellow box, HDR, that is Human Development Report, which I explained you. What do you mean by Human Development Report? Write down the question. What do you mean by Human Development Report? Oblique, what do you mean by UNDP? What do you mean by UNDP's development criteria? Same question. So UNDP is an international organization which compares states. States here I am talking about the countries, states, not the states of the our country India. Here I am talking about states, means the UNDP compares states of the world to check which is developed on 3 grounds: income, health and education. Income, I have explained to you that the criteria is same of World Bank. Education, it may check literacy rate, it may check net attendance ratio, okay. And for health, it can check IMR that we discussed, and it can check life expectancy. Life expectancy means for how long people of this country live. For how long people of this country live. In Japan, people live 90 plus. In our country, the average year is 74. Fine. Now the age, 66. 66 years is the age in India people normally live up to this age, but in Japan people live above 90. So you can compare just seeing this only fact that how Japan is developed in terms of health as compared to India. And there is one more criteria to check health is BMI, that is called body mass index. In activity 3 it is given. Again they have taken third indicator of health, IMR, life expectancy, and the third one is BMI, body mass index. Means what is your weight and what is your height. If you divide weight oblique height ka whole square, whatever number comes after that, you put your weight, you put your height and divide it, whatever number comes to you. If the number is 25, between 25 to 18.5, then you are a healthy person. If the number is going below 18.5, you are malnutrition. If your number is above 25, so you are obese, which are again not a healthy sign. Fine, being obese also is not a healthy sign. So they have taken now the BMI also. So you can take anything, any indicator depending upon UNDP to understand how this time they are comparing the development. Coming back to the 1.6 table, look at now we have the complete data of world country. PCI is given, you know PCI, life expectancy 64 in India. Actually according to this 2011 census. Fine, now we are going to have 2021 census also. So we are going to have different data. Life literacy rate they have given clear to you, that is educational indicator. Gross enrollment ratio oblique net attendance ratio, they are different. Net attendance in which the children is going throughout the school, throughout the year to the school. In gross they are just enrolling and not passing out and not completing the full year. So this is the only difference. So we have got here third indicator also of education. So in education also we have got 3 indicators, in health also we have got 3 indicators, but in income we have only 1 indicator. I am repeating, in education if I have to compare that are you educated and in your country people are educated, so I can take literacy rate, I can say take gross enrollment, I can take net attendance ratio. If I have to compare health of your country, I can take life expectancy, I can take IMR, I can take BMI. Okay, and after putting all of them into one formula, I can get one number, or you can say the rank, which is being assessed by the UNDP and put up into the report, which is known as HDR, Human Development Report. Okay, so here we have the report and you have got the ranks also. So again, my NCERT may be different from yours. You please check the updated ones. Whatever NCERT you have, in answer you can write according to data 2004. I have 2004 data, so you can write according to 2004 data, India ranks at 126 in HDR report. Fine. So this way you can figure out where does your country lie in development. I hope so far things are clear to you, whatever I have discussed. So comparison, I have covered World Bank, how to calculate PCI, problems of PCI oblique average income, how to compare development according to UNDP, right? After taking all 3 indicators, club them together and putting them into one rank and making it one report called HDR. Last topic of this chapter is sustainable development. If you want development, if you want to sustain it for future generation, you have to take up the steps, or you have to develop in such a way that you can preserve your resources. Okay, here we have one example, example 1. So definition, what is sustainability of development? Next question, what is sustainability of development? With the help of example, explain it. First example, groundwater in India. We have 2-3 states where groundwater level has gone down. There is no ground level water. If there is no water, so there is no need to tell you anything on that our life is not going to be survived. I hope it is clear. This is self-explanatory, that example 1, groundwater in India is very, very less in few states, which is very, very problematic nowadays. Next example is very interesting, that is an international example of oil crisis. So crude oil reserves in Middle East are not going to last 93 years. In USA they are not going to last 10 years, and in the world oil is not going to last till 43 years. So you can see, if we are not going to conserve our water, our oil, you will have car but you don't have petrol to put into that. You have house but no water to drink. Will you survive happily? No. So that is the only problem. So sustainability of development, after understanding what is development, we are ending the chapter what is sustainability of development, and it is very crucial for our survival. If we will not put into efforts into conserving our resources, so we are going to die very soon. So in sustainability of development, it is very important to understand how sustainability of development is important for human survival. With the help of these two examples, you can learn, relearn and understand, and you can put up your own examples also in the answer. What is sustainability of development? So this way I have finished this lesson of development, and I think that you must have understood. And I give you NCERT exercise which are on the back side on page number 16, 17. Do this exercise and give chapter and test to check your development, how much you understood in this chapter. I hope through that you will help that will help you in writing the answers and in understanding the concept and in learning the presentation skills also. For any doubts, we will have our doubt classes, so you can connect there with me and can ask any question on this. However, I have covered entire chapter thoroughly. Still you have anything, you are always free to connect. Thank you so much.